Hi guys, we're going to get this video started off with a recipe for crescent roll taco pizza. I have made this for years and years. This recipe came from a Taste of Home, either cookbook or magazine. My mother-in-law years ago would keep me in the magazines and the cookbooks, and my goodness, such great recipes that I have found in those and have continued to make through the years. So this one is very similar to a vegetable pizza in the sense that you're using crescent rolls for your crust. We just have some different toppings. Be sure and look below in the description box, not only for this recipe, but I will also have a link to the video where I showed the vegetable pizza. That one is such a family favorite as well. You can buy the crescent sheets instead of having to seal these little perforations together. But I had these on hand and it takes no time just to get those sealed to make the crust for the pizza. Now while my crescent crust is baking, I'm using 1 block of cream cheese, 8 ounces of sour cream, and I end up using the entire packet of ranch dressing. I wasn't sure if I was going to use the whole packet. I didn't want it to be too salty, but I did use the whole thing. So you just want to combine that thoroughly, and that's going to go on top of the crust once it's cooled. And on the stovetop, I am browning up a pound of ground beef that I will season, and that will also be a topping for this taco pizza. And again, here's my cooled crust, and I'm going to put the cream cheese mixture on top. Make sure you look in the description box below for the full recipe, including bake time and all the information you need to know to make this. All right, here's my ground beef. It's been drained, and I seasoned this up with taco seasoning. It is basically chili powder, garlic powder, cumin, salt. I usually just use my spices that I have rather than buy the envelopes of the taco seasoning. Okay, now I'm going to layer on my seasoned ground beef on top of my cream cheese mixture, followed by a couple types of shredded cheese, and then I'm just going to pop that back in the oven for just a couple minutes, enough to get the cheese melted on top. Alright, and here's what it looks like out of the oven. We just want the cheese to melt a little bit, and then you can top it with whatever suits your fancy. It's totally preference, but I'm going to use some fresh diced tomatoes. These are from our garden, of course. I'm going to also use some cilantro and some black olives. Those are going to be my toppings. Alright, now the original recipe does not call for this Taco Bell Baja sauce, but I know my husband and my sons, all of us really like this sauce. So I just thought this is going to be a fun additional topping and provide great flavor for this taco pizza. Alright, you can definitely do the crust and the meat and the sauce ahead of time, but once you actually start building the pizza, you want to serve it shortly thereafter. It's going to be ready to eat. But as my very final topping, right before serving it, I like to add this very finely shredded lettuce on top. It's a perfect crunch, and it's completely fitting for a taco pizza. Alright, and I made a taco salad. It was so big I had to split it between 2 bowls to mix it. I used lettuce, Italian dressing, some taco meat, and some corn chips. There is our taco pizza and some fresh guacamole, and then this is the day I made the apple cider donut cake. I will link the video to that below. You want to check that out. It is delicious. So this was our Mexican dinner tonight. I will link also a video for taco salad. I'm pretty sure I've made that on my channel before. I will link that down below as well. Here's all of our toppings, and it was just a really delicious, easy dinner. I'm putting together this new side dish. You know, there's 100 ways to make potatoes, but this is one I guess I've used. It's been eons of years ago. Anyhow, I was going through cookbooks. It seems like fall time, I just want to go in my cookbooks more than I do other times of the year. So I was looking in one of my cookbooks and I found this one, Potato Supreme. So I am going to use these frozen hash browns. I'm only going to make half a recipe, I believe. So I think I might do about half a bag. It needs sour cream, cream of chicken, and cheese. green onions, this recipe says here, but I am gonna use some green peppers. I have some of these from our garden. I just kind of think that sounds good. I don't think I'm gonna put any onions or anything in it. I think I'm just gonna do the green peppers. I'm gonna get this pulled together and put this in the oven. And so my little notes here say good. Recommendation, use more potatoes as opposed to less. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna eyeball it when I get it together here and see if I think it looks about right. All right, in my bowl here, I've done, just eyeballed the sour cream. I'm using a half a bag of these potatoes. So I know I'm making a smaller portion of the potatoes than the recipe calls for, but I think a creamy potato would be good. I can add more if I need to, but I did, of course, use the can of cream of chicken, and then I reduced the sour cream just a little. It's probably about 3/4 a cup. I'm gonna sprinkle in some salt here, but not much, because we are gonna have cheese in this, so we don't wanna get too salty. But potatoes need a lot of salt. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of garlic powder, because that's always good on potatoes. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of pepper. Right, I'm gonna get this stirred together before I add the cheese and just kind of see what consistency I have. All right, this kind of looks like potato salad a little bit. Okay, I've talked myself into using the rest of the bag of potatoes. I don't know, it just doesn't look like a lot in this bowl, so I'm gonna use the whole entire bag. I may add in just a little bit more sour cream. We'll see. This is very, very creamy. But I'm gonna go for it and use the rest of the bag of potatoes, and then we'll get started on the cheese. I am happy that I did that. So I'm gonna sprinkle in just a smidge more of the garlic powder since we added some more potatoes. And I'm gonna sprinkle in just a little bit more black pepper. It's very fine. I don't think I'm gonna add any more sour cream. I think we are good right where we are. Let's do a tiny bit more salt. Okay, that looks good. I am going to now add in the cheese. The recipe calls for 3 cups. I'm gonna put cheese in this mixture and stir it, and then of course I will top it with some cheese. And you know what, I'm thinking I have a big bag of the Kirkland bacon pieces. Maybe I should sprinkle a few of those in. Do you guys cook like this? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You take the recipe and kind of tweak it a little bit, and sometimes add in stuff or take out stuff. That is how I cook for sure. All right, let me go see what I can do here with some bacon bits and the cheese. Right here, we've got this big bag of the Kirkland brand from Costco bacon crumbles. So let's put some of those in. Oh yes, that looks good. Perfect. That is going to be a yummy addition to these potatoes. All right, we are piled high over the top of the bowl. That's what happens when you were supposed to make half and decided to make the full recipe. That's okay, I'm gonna get these stirred together. It's looking really good, and I'll get them in the pan. They only bake for, I think, about 25 minutes or so, so this one's not too bad to get together and doesn't take real long to bake. Okay, look how pretty these look. I am thinking that this is gonna be so, so good. So lastly, I just need to sprinkle on some of the cheese for the top. So we can get that all spread out here. Looking good. I'm gonna sprinkle on some parsley for color. Of course, we've already got the green peppers down in there that we can see, but a little parsley on top. All right, they're going in the oven. I think these are gonna be good. All right, here are the potatoes out of the oven. I took a tiny little taste from one of the corners, and it tastes really, really good. So I think these will be potatoes that we can continue making. Kind of versatile. You can probably, do even different things than what I did, or even just follow the recipe. Plain and simple would be just fine, but I think these are going to be a keeper. Okay, you know how I tell you that we eat a lot of fried squash in the summertime? Well, probably about once a week or once every other week, so it's not like every day, but we do love it, and it's a good way to use squash. So I wanted to make some tonight for family night, but
It's kind of tedious. You have to do it in the egg, and then you do it in the panko and the flour, then you fry it. And it, it takes a minute. You want to fry it kind of slow so it gets golden brown, but tender at the same time. So I was thinking, how can I do this? So what I've been doing is frying them in my big, like a griddle, stovetop griddle type deal. And then let me show you what I'm doing next. I've been moving them over here to drain on this paper towel, so get some of the excess grease off of there. Then I've moved them here to a little rack on my cookie sheet. And I've got my oven on my keep warm setting. So I'm gonna put all of these in the oven and they will stay warm until time for dinner. So I'm happy that I thought that through and came up with a way that I could do these a little bit ahead of time, have them done so I'm not standing here at the last minute frying and frying, but they're still gonna be warm and crispy. So yay Angie for thinking this through today. All right, we are frying up 15 pounds of wings. One basket at a time. And then let me show you what James came up with as far as making them ahead of time, maybe half hour or so, and then keeping them warm. So let me show you that. Okay, so we've got the smoker on, not real high heat. Check it out. So these are the ones that have yet to go in the deep fryer, obviously. These are the ones that have come out. So we want to keep them nice and crispy. About 15 pounds takes a little while in the size deep fryer that we're working with. So they're looking good. We started early so we could get them all done in time.
And here is our plate. These are the wings all sauced up. We just basically left them plain and let everyone choose what kind of sauces they wanted for their wings. And we had the delicious potatoes and the fried squash on the side. This was a really yummy meal. All of our family loves chicken wings.
All right, here's what we've got going on tonight in this oven safe pan here. I have 4 pork chops. They are seasoned up with shake and bake. It's the Parmesan, I believe. So a friend of ours got an Amazon order and it had quite a few things in there that she did not order. One of them was the little box of shake and bake. So we've used it once already. This is the second time, so finish that box up. These will bake for about, I don't know, half hour or so. So I'm getting ready to stick those in the oven. Let me show you what I already have in the oven. And there we have it. We've got a pan of cornbread. So that's gonna be especially delicious with some of the other garden food that we have going on. So let me show you that. We are towards the end of garden season. It is September 7th here. I'm in Indiana and our garden is still doing great. We still have green beans. Probably got a 5-gallon bucket ready to be picked. We still have tomatoes. My pumpkins are going crazy. But this here is a kettle full of fresh green beans. These have been cooking on and off throughout the day. I had to turn them off for a little while I was going outside to do some things. But I've got them back on now. I like to cook my green beans down, so I cook them a lot. And then James dug up some potatoes today from our garden. So these are our fresh garden potatoes. We still have a lot of potatoes left to dig, but he dug some up for dinner. And then this is the last of what I have of the tomatoes that I picked several days ago. And then back on our patio, I have a Walmart sack that is loaded. So I'll be making salsa tomorrow. So we'll probably eat a couple of these sliced up tonight along with our dinner. And then I will show you the rest of what we're gonna have. I didn't just go through the whole big long process today. I just thought I would just show you at this point what we've got going on. It's gonna be delicious.
If you've been around here long, you know we love garden food. So the pork chops, this corn came out of my son Gunner's garden. We had some cornbread to go along with it, and the green beans and potatoes, the onions and tomatoes made a wonderful meal. It was delicious.
I can't tell you how excited we are to have this roast for dinner. This is the first roast that we will be having from this go-round of having our own cows raised and processed. It's such a great thing to do if you can, and we are able to. Our son Gunner, he keeps the cows on his little homestead, and we know exactly what they've eaten. We know exactly how they're taken care of. This is just, you can't get much better than this. So I've said before, we are thrilled and ready to have the beef finally processed in a freezer full. So for this beef roast, I'm using this Jana's roast recipe. Here is my little bag of seasonings. Quite a while back when I made a roast, I split the seasoning in half. It takes a whole envelope of ranch, a whole envelope of au jus, and one of Italian, like the dry Italian dressing. And it's a little salty sometimes, so I have decided to split those in half. So I did half a package of each, put the rest in this little bag, and that's what's gonna season my beef roast. We are so excited for this dinner tonight. I love it. I can throw this in the crock pot and it'll cook all day and be just perfect. All right, here it is, all poured over the top, and I'm gonna add in about a cup of water. All right, doesn't this look wonderful? I've got in here probably about 5 or 6 carrots, so that'll be a delicious side to serve along with this. I have a piece of garlic there and a piece of garlic there, so a couple garlic cloves. And then for the final thing, before I pop on the lid, I have plenty of onion from our garden, but for some reason, these little dried onions, that is what I want to add in today. So I'm just going to shake a little generous portion of those. Oh yeah, this is going to be delicious. So the top is going to go on, and this is just going to cook away all day and be a wonderful dinner tonight. All right, and here is dinner tonight. There's the roast I showed you earlier, the carrots all cooked up, some mashed potatoes. Sometimes you're just in the mood for Kraft macaroni and cheese. I buy that about once every 2 or 3 years, maybe. And I just wanted that the last time I was at the grocery. And then some fried squash. Our garden is still producing squash. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight.
All right, and I just wanted to include one more clip. Here I am building some Turkey Club tortilla wraps. So on top of my tortillas, I'm going to use this delicious chive and onion cream cheese spread. That makes such a yummy flavor on these Turkey Club tortilla wraps. So once you get that all spread on, you're going to come in with your shredded cheese, get them all topped with a nice amount of shredded cheese, and of course bacon. It wouldn't be a Turkey Club without some bacon, so we're going to get our bacon on there, our turkey, our lettuce. We're going to get these wraps built. I had a couple different packages of turkey. I wanted to finish one off, and then I started in with the other one. This is the white turkey, I think, by Oscar Mayer. And so I just finished off one package, started in on the other. I was taking these as part of a pitch-in lunch, so once I got them all assembled and rolled up, I put them back in the bag that the tortillas came out of. They fit in there perfectly. I sealed them up, and then it was time to serve. I just cut them on a diagonal and put them out on a pretty platter. They were really, really delicious. The cream cheese and the bacon, the turkey, just made such a great little tortilla wrap. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would. Give this video a like and come on back for the next one. See you around, guys. Bye-bye.